Hello everyone, welcome back to this Beckhoff TwinCAT3 motion control series video. In the previous two videos, I introduced how we can program the basic motion control command. They include the reset, power on, MC home, MC jog, and I connect all those variables to those function blocks. And I will use my laptop running as a controller and download all those function blocks into my laptop and run and do the test. Alright, let's start. Here we finish those four typical function blocks for this access control. And if we record this program structure, so from this main, we call this motion control, this program. And from this motion control, we need to call this method because all those programmed within this single access underscore LD, this method here. So from this motion control program, we need to call this method here, single access underscore LD. Okay, this program will call that. All right, build a solution. Okay, after this build successfully, we can download. Now I'm using my virtual machine and use my laptop running as a controller. I will click this active configuration, download this hardware configuration. The system will show up, restart the TwinCAT system in run mode. Click OK. So we will see this icon. Once it's shown like this, that means the system start up. And then let's click this login. Login means we will download this logic-wise, this program to this controller. Login. Okay, now let's go to this method here. So once we see this dark blue, that means this program is running. Okay, now let me open this virtual access. Let's click this online and drag here. So firstly, let's reset. To trigger this reset, I can double click this variable. It will show the true here. That means it's preparing the true signal. And once we click this write value, it will write this true to this variable. Once we double click again, so it will prepare the false. And once I click this write variable, it will write a 0 to this variable. Okay, so we execute this MC reset. And then let's go down. And now the enabling, it shows off because we haven't enabled here. Now let's enable all of them. Double click that prepare the true. And let's write the variable. Okay. After I write here, we will see this enabling shows all enabled. And this override, I haven't write this override value here. So let's write, double click this variable and let's type in the 100. That means we will run 100%. And don't forget, click this write value. Okay. And now the system shows ready. And now it's not moving. And current position, it shows 0. We temporarily leave this MC underscore home here. I will show how to use this after. Now let's use this MC jog. We'll start from this 0 position. And once I double click this forward, go to true and enable this forward. So we'll see the axis will start to move. And once I double click write 0 to this forward command, jog forward command, it will stop. You can imagine if we are using the HMI, once you press and hold the button, this variable will be on, axis will start jogging. And once you release the button, so it will stop. And this velocity, because now it's 0, it will use the system default setting. If I write value that not equal to 0, so this jog velocity will follow this command. Okay, now if I double click, write true to this reverse. So we'll see this axis go to the reverse. Double click. Okay, here, it stopped. Okay, now let's test this home. The current position, that is 75. For example, we use this jog and move our axis to this position. And this position line up with our other tooling. So we can use this current position, set the current position to a logic 0. Now we prepare this home position as a 0 position. And once we turn on this home execute, this access will directly write to 0 value. Okay, double click, and we can watch here. Once I trigger this enable, so this access value will write to 0. And if we want to set some value, for example, as I introduced, some cases, our tooling position that actually, for example, is a 500 position. So we only care this working position. We can write this 500 directly to this access. So we prepare this 500 at first, and then double click this execute. Then we'll see this 500 directly right into this access. This 500 position is the actual tooling working position after we set access 500, and then we can jog this access back to the 0 position. Okay, this is the MC_direct. Directly write this position setting using this execute command right into this access. And now if I close this, let's watch those output. So if we forward this access, so we will see when it's working, the busy will turn on and active will turn on. Turn this off, so those output will turn off. Okay, same thing, this home. For example, if I set 500 to this access, once I turn on this execute, so you can see this done signal will turn on. That means we successfully set 500 into this access. Okay. And as we can see, the 500 write again into this access. And this done signal will turn off when this execute command turn off. You'll see, once you turn off this execute, this will turn off. Okay. And this power, once we enable those power, the busy will on and active will on. Okay, now let's leverage that curve. Let's open this curve, this YT chart. So now let's enable start record. So the system is recording those values. Float this window. Okay, let me use this jog. Forward a certain distance, and then backward a certain distance. And then let's go back to this YT chart. And the green curve, that's the position. And the blue, this dark blue, that's the speed. And this red, not moving signal. Okay, so here we can see that time I forward jog a certain distance and then backward. So this green shows the position. And from here we can see this position is still staying in this position now. So if I leave this mouse here, we can see this actual position now is a 720. That blue curve that shows the velocity value when we're doing this forward and backward jog. Okay, now if we go back this MC home, and if I set 500 direct, so let's execute this home. So after I execute, so let's see here, you can see if we move this window, so we can see at that moment, so this green, this position, this value from 720 directly change to 500 because we use this direct MC_direct home this access directly write this value. So we can see using this curve is very easy for us to monitor those variable change, velocity, position, and other values. Alright, with this MC reset, MC power, MC home, and MC jog, with those 4 typical function block, we can use our program basically move or control our access. And after this, for the automatic program, we will program the velocity control, positioning control, maybe the relative position or absolute position control. I will show those control commands in the next video. But those 4 basic function blocks allows us to use a program to control our access. Alright, let's park here temporarily, and in next video I will show how can we program the velocity and relative position and absolute positioning control. See you in next video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up. If you like to watch more videos in my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you for watching.